Materials. Materials are so much fun within Photoshop with 3D. So we're going to look at this hat for a second. Okay, and the hat, when clicked on, it has a diffuse, it has a bump, it has a lot of stuff on here. If I click here, you notice that this is a texture that can be opened within Photoshop. Right now the texture is just this. Okay, so it's nothing much. The fact is there's an actual color here, and that's what's running the color here, not the texture. So what I want to do here is go to bump. It's the funnest to play with. New texture. I'm going to assign this a texture of 256 by 256. And I do that because that's basically 3D texture. 256 by 256 equals 512. So 512 by 512 could be another one. And if you need to up it, you keep upping those by adding them together all the way up to 4096. 256, 256, 512, 512, 1024, 1024, 2048 by 2048, and etc. and so forth. I would stop at 4096. It's insane. The higher that goes, the higher the resolution, the slower Photoshop goes. Oh, yeah. Another thing is, I think I assigned that 256 inches. So let's hit escape a few times. Okay, and then go back into here. So that's a good way to get out of that. Okay, because you will do that too. Trust me. 256 by 256 pixels, not inches. And I want 8-bit. Much faster. So now what I could do is go ahead and open that texture. And we're going to just assign it something. We're going to give it some gray. We're going to fill that in using a new layer. Okay. And then I'm going to assign it a new layer and fill that in with a pattern. And I made patterns with you earlier. If not, just use one of the default patterns and we'll cover that. Okay, default pattern also would be one of the other ones. I think these two come stock with Photoshop, these two. So either one will work. I just got this fancy dot one. Be jealous. Okay, now I'm going to assign it a brush and put some white there. So here, I can turn this to multiply, which allows me to use the gray value. And I also want to assign some white value. So this is very important when dealing with a bump map. You should know how it works, and this is a good way to test it out. So everything with white is going to be bumped, everything black is going to be sucked in, and everything gray will be left alone. So I'll save this out, go back, and you can see now my hat looks like it's made out of cheddar cheese. And you can see bumps every once in a while too. Okay, so I'll just rotate it around. You can see these bumps. And that's the bump channel. Alright, keep in mind that there is a lot of different channels to cover. And each one of these needs a different kind of map. So you should take the time, like a normal map and a bump map are the exact same. Except for a normal map has a different type of look to it. So take the time and kind of look up these maps in Google. The reflection map is based upon the same, they're almost always based upon the same thing, white, gray, and black. Okay, but that doesn't mean you can't add color to them, because like specular, white, gray, and black work, but if you add a tint of blue, anytime a light shines on it, it becomes a tint of blue. So there's a lot of things you can do with it, more than I can ever cover in any kind of videos. So please move on to the next video section where I kind of introduce a new concept to this.